Hello and welcome to a new episode of On Your Grow. It's been about 2 weeks since my last visit, really, at the allotment, or the last video at the allotment. It's been incredibly busy. The weather finally started to straighten up a bit, so I had to catch up on all my jobs, and I couldn't really make much time for the allotment. I did go a few times, but it's been just flash visit, half an hour, 40 minutes. Enough time just to water, feed, And here in the greenhouse, pretty much nothing else than just feeding and watering. There's plenty to do. So today we are going to tackle those tomatoes. We are going to also tidy, throw stuff away that needs to go away. And I'm hoping that by the end of this video, this won't be a jungle anymore. And what's on that side that you can't quite see yet will be tidy as well. So let's go for it. As you can see, the greenhouse is taken over by the tomatoes, and mostly by the foliage of those tomatoes. I've not been on top of cutting back the side shoots either, which obviously bothers me a bit, but I just genuinely didn't have the time to do all this. I was slightly late in the season, but not actually as late as that. But I've not had a single ripe tomatoes so far, so I really want to harvest at least what I've got in here. It's not going to be much, but at least it's going to be something, and it's going to be almost worth the efforts that I've put on this year. As you can see as well, the cucumber have finally given up. Unfortunately, the weather cooled down a lot too much, and the difference between day and night has been drastic. In fact, I believe it's a week and a half ago, we actually went down to about 3 degrees at nighttime in the greenhouse. So obviously much too cold, and this started to die off about a week ago. And as you can see now, they are properly done. Let's crack on, go and get the bin. We'll set up the camera and we'll start tidying a bit. Right, so we've got the bin, I've got the coffee. Can't forget the coffee, even if it's a bit too hot for it. And we'll crack on. I think the best way will be for me to start at the tomatoes. Just try to clear all the foliage. That's me touching the first tomatoes there, so they need to be given a bit more light, and then we'll move on with the back. But it's just, I think it's going to be a bit easier if I can just start working my way through this, but it's just so much that I'm not even sure where to start. So I suppose the best way will be to start by chopping the heads off, most of them, and then just a bit of removing the foliage. Again, more side shoots. See, this is the difficult one, where I've got some tiny fruit starting to appear on this one. Probably not enough, so I should probably just cut this off, but I'm always like, well, I came that far, so, but I will today, because I really need to chop this back quite drastically, to give everything actually a chance to ripe. There is actually one in here that have not even set a single fruit. Tough. It's a bit of a shame, but this one will have to go. because although there's a couple of trusses ready to, where the flowers have dropped and ready to start fruiting, it's much too late in the season, so it's pointless now. So let's just pull this off. Again, with that system that we adopted this year, as you can see, it's very easy to unstring it, put that aside, so put that for next year. If I don't put it somewhere where I forget. Yes, this is one that will, well, go for the whole lot, will go in the bin. So as you can see, there's some there and there, but there's not even a single fruit really showing up just now. So this one will just be discarded right away. There's actually one of the salad tomato, one of the Scotland yellow. It looks like it's ready. So I might try it later on. I don't really want to harvest just the one, but I suppose that if it's ready, that's fine. We've used the same one in the same seeds in a community garden where I'm helping, and we also had one single yellow tomato, which I've picked up, and it looked a bit damaged. I don't think it's blight, but it looked like there was something happening with it. So I broke it open, and it was this kind of almost like it had been frozen, if it makes sense. It's like this almost like crystal on the flesh. Uh, I that was gross. I didn't even wanted to try it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's the way this one is, and I'm sorry, tomato. Um, I don't think it was right at all. So we ended up putting that one back in the compost. So I'm hoping this one. I'm a bit scared. But I'm hoping this one will be okay. So we'll see a bit later on. If I'm brave enough, I might actually do a taste test straight in here on video. But let's continue anyway. Plenty of work to do before. Job one done. Quite sure what you can see because actually I've got the sun behind me, so much I can see. But yeah, it's a lot clearer now. I can actually see through. As you can see, two of them I got rid of them. I've got three very small tomatoes in here, two in here, two in here. So those ones at the bottom have definitely not been successful at all. When it will come to putting them up, I need to remember to just pick the best one and stick to the best one. Um, I'm not gonna use that as an excuse, but potentially if I had a better access to the one at the back, uh, I potentially would have taken a bit better care of them. But that's what it is anyway. I've got a few decent looking fruits, definitely very green, decent looking fruit, and those ones are the one that, as you can see from the size, they're very small. I was supposed to take the staging down, and I never actually got to do it. Those ones are the cherry tomatoes, still very small on there, but as you can see, this is more like this one is actually a very big one compared to what they should be. This is more of a regular size of what I should expect from them. And as you can see right there at the back, let me take you a bit closer. We actually have one that, although very small, is ready. Actually yellow. Those ones are turning a bit. This one's definitely turning a bit, but very small. That's the same. Oh no, my bad. That's a different plant, but that's the same um, Scotland yellow. So although I've completely messed up with my label this year, now I can tell the difference because of the, well, I was going to say the size, but I suppose that those ones have a uniform color, whether it's turning yellow like those ones or plain green like those ones. These ones, you have a much darker green that pretty much stays like this and almost turn black. And this one, which you will see in the next video from the allotment, this one will turn of a reddish color, while this is going almost black. And that's the black cherry. And those ones, plain, are Scotland yellow. Right, so now that we actually see a lot clearer in here, I am gonna take down the cucumbers there at the back, which I was thinking that would allow me to reorganize the tomatoes a bit better, but since I'm missing two, it's actually good now in terms of spacing between them. I think I'll leave the tomatoes there, but I might give a bit more space for the chilies and pepper. But first thing first, let's take down the cucumber, and hopefully we'll be able to do a last harvest. It might be a bit bitter, but we'll see what we can get. I think there's 4, 5, should be 4 fruits. It's roasting in here. Absolutely roasting. You probably can tell I'm sweating. Um, yeah, let's crack on. We'll take those right down. Obviously, there's one that I already had unstrung because I had the camera on that side and this big blue rope right in the middle of it. So I've already unstrung that one. Couple more that I can take down as well just now. Yeah, as expected. Sorry, it's very gross. Some of the fruits, I'm not even going to touch this, but some of the fruits have got so big. They're going to be bitter anyway, but right, that's us. Getting even hotter now, I can even see. Only 22.6, but it's in the shade and under there, so it's really hot. The sun is, you can see right in my face there. It is getting hot, so now all this bit is clear. All that space is cleared. All this is cleared as well. So I think I will take a wee 10-minute break. God, tidy it is now behind me. I can actually see outside. With my hands, see all the fruit, so that's really good. Well, needed break. I'm now slightly less hot, but to be fair, the sun's going to be behind the house very soon. So I'm going to lose that light and that extra heat. I've traded the coffee for water though. I just get anymore. It's hot. It's hot. Right. So during the break and off camera, I have cleared the pots. I now have a tub, don't know, 15-liter bucket of spent compost. This one, all those been fed along the season, and it was new compost. It's been well used, so I think I will just, I think I might just put that one aside, and just once I get all my spent compost from here, just put that in a planter and put some green manure for over winter. Either that, or I'm going to take this to the allotment, spread it over, and again, where I'm going to do green manure and spread this over, but just to try to bring it back to life. But it's certainly not going to be something I'm going to be using for putting up. What I'm going to be using for putting up, and I've left it there, so I'll just pick it up just now. Tomatoes, I've got just under a full 12-liter bucket of really good compost, which I'm going to use to do some putting up alongside my normal mix of compost. I just figured that if I clear that side first, then I can move the plants and at the sides. I think I'm going to have some space in here. Probably put a few of them maybe up on the shelf. I'll see what I'll do. But what I wanted to show you though Remember this one? So this was side shoot that was whatever long, as I popped up the screen earlier, so you'll see, you'll know. And again, keep in mind this is much too late in the season, but that was just a wee experiment, so you get to see that it's possible to have potentially a full-size plant during the season. I'm not expecting anything out of this. It's much too late in the season, but if it's done at the right time, potentially this, rather than having been done in July, late July, if I had done this in, let's say, May, imagine the size this would be just now. That would be a full-size plant. So yeah, anyway, you get the idea. It's possible to propagate tomatoes as well. In fact, extremely easy. I didn't do anything. I didn't feed it. All I've done is bottom watering this one because I was in the tray up at the top where I just watered in the tray. So I didn't give it any special treatment, just for the beauty of the experiment. I just let nature do its course. And very easily, we get a plant that is actually, well, sustainable, that would be sustainable if it was done in the right time frame. So you know what to do next year. I will not do it because that would end up basically just taking every single one of my side shoot. But just obviously on that note, I should specify, I had mentioned it the first time, I'm sure. But do not let all your side shoot go big to do this. That's not the right way to do it. The idea behind this is if you miss or you forget or you don't have time, or more often than not is you've got so many, well, not anymore, so much foliage and so many plants like behind me that you end up missing one or another side shoot. If that's the case, rather than having lost all that nutrient that been pulled out of the main plant to create this big long side shoot, you could actually keep them and make a plant. So now that this has been mentioned, this one, I will move it over there just now. So it's out of the way because I will be staying in here. But there is an awful lot of plants in here that I will be removing and discarding. I have said many, many times, my bad. Sadly, those ones will never carry pumpkin. I'll do better next year. Those ones will go in the bin. My own fault. I have not been on top of those ones. Timing was difficult. Timing's always been difficult for me. Anyway, so I can only blame myself for this, but that's what it is. So let's not cry about this. Oh, it's two different. Okay, let's not cry about this. Things happen. As long as we keep on top of most of the plant, it's not too bad if there's a couple that are not making it. Very strangely, obviously, this has been potted up as well. Again, I don't know why this one is just deciding to collapse like that. I'll pinch it here and I will grow again, no problem. I should have actually pinched them just to help them build up a bit. I'll show you in those ones there, but again, I've not been on top of this as much as I should have. We'll actually keep those sides, those cuttings that I'm doing, those pinching that I'm doing, because I can very much use the leaves of this. So let's not waste for the sake of it. I will pinch them all after the first or second. I'll show you with this one. So if I pick this one, so I've got one, I will wait two and pinch, and those leaves can be used. Potentially they can also be potted back up. I'm not going to bother with putting them back up. There you go. Just like that, this will encourage side shoot to grow, so you might be able to see it on like this one, for example. You have new shoots there, which rather than having one stem growing up, now it will be forced to grow two stems like that, and then so on. Up here though, this is again not been too good with this one. I've been watering the tray that's up here without realizing that this one under here doesn't have any holes. So this is bone dry. If I was paying a bit more attention, I would know. This is the next one, bok choy. This is bok choy that we've sown together in the last episode. They are doing amazing. They actually are rooting really well. Before I go any further, I will pick the other basil and do the exact same. Pick the top, and we'll be using the leaves. So you might be able to see, they've been slugged a bit, but see those, this one here and this one here. I've actually picked some point during the week. I can't quite remember when, but at some point during the week, I was doing a tomato sauce and I needed fresh leaves of basil, and I've picked them up. And within a few days, that's the side shoot coming up. So see the difference between this and put that down. Those tiny wee ones are just starting, so it doesn't take long. The smell is just amazing in here. But this is how much basil we've picked up. We'll freeze that and we'll definitely do a few meal. I could also dry them up. Love it. I could dry them up and just put them into like almost like powder or flakes. Something else that I would like to show you, which I'm going to deal with later on. This is the tray of kale, which again we've sown at the same time as the pak choy. Doing really well. Roots popping up at the bottom. Not quite root bound yet. Just so. Those ones, it's some of them have been badly slugged, unfortunately. I wasn't planning to keep all this, and there's a lot of kale, so I don't want that much. What I'm actually thinking is just to keep the best one of them all. Because see in here, for example, if I turn this over, see in here, you actually have one and two here, but this one is just anything like that. So this one will be the one that's going to be sacrificed. A few of them are a bit bigger, but still there's always one better than the other. So I think I will do this. Just pull out the one that I'm not going to keep, leave them as this size of plug, and plant them straight at the allotment as they are. That's us reaching the end of today's video, folks. As I've mentioned earlier, tomorrow, as in tomorrow for me, I will be spending most of the day at the allotment. Very excited about this. I don't think the video will be released the day after this one. I've got other things to do. I've got other videos to edit as well, which unfortunately will be the priority after this one. So it might be a few days before the video actually get released. But yes, very excited. There's not an awful lot of work to do on the growing part, I would say, which has been clear. The weeding has been done. There's just tiny wee seedlings coming up, but it's just waiting to see what's coming up before we start the proper weeding with the whole. But it's looking okay. But there's a whole lot of other jobs to do to start clearing the rest, start clearing the fruits as well, which obviously is pretty much priority at this point, because we are coming into autumn, or meteorologically we are in autumn, but we are coming into autumn in pretty much 3 or 4 weeks time. We will be wanting to plant bare root fruits. All the fruits in there need to go. I've tried again yesterday when I popped over. One of the blueberries was just awful. I've never tasted something as bad as that, and I've mentioned that before. They are all absolutely disgusting. So they all need to go, and we'll plant new fruits. Before I go, let's not forget, I will be brave enough. I will be brave enough. We have our one and only yellow tomato, which is still a bit green, so it might not be quite ready, but let's do a bit of a taste test. Very juicy. Very nice. Mm. Right, so we're finishing this video on a very positive note. First tomato is a success. Great. Looking forward to the other ones, hopefully. Um, Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.